Like,
Oh.
I used to be a pilot, so I always imagine it like the stick shaker on the plane when
Right.
you're about to stall.
Right.
I'm always like, oh my God, we're stalling. And my first thing is to push the nose over.
Right.
But I'm flat on the ground, so there's
Okay.
no nose to push over in the car.
So what kind of planes did you fly? Cessnas?
Cessnas, yeah.
Nice.
Cessnas. But in the simulators, I flew a 737
Oh, wow.
with British Airways about 20 years ago.
You look like a pilot.
Thank you.
You do, with that, even especially with the headset on.
With the headset.
Yeah, you have a pilot look to you.
Roger.
Very cool. So now, let's get into the comedy.
Yep.
How long have you been doing stand-up comedy?
This year is my 35th anniversary.
Really?
This
That
year,
long?
yeah.
Wow.
I have a picture. I did Governor's Giggle Room back in January.
Okay.
And that was around I think that my first time on stage, well, I know it was March of 89 was my first time on stage. So they have I have a picture of me from 89 with that wooden sign.
Right.
And now that wooden sign is in the back where
Right.
the comedians go. The public
Yes.
can't go back there. But so I took a picture of me then, now,
And
with the same sign,
side to side, like.
side to side.
Nice. That's really cool. So 30, 35?
35 years, 89,
Wow.
yeah.
That's
Right.
awesome. So did you start off doing stand-up? Because I told everybody out there in the radio land that
Yep.
you are also an
Impressionist, yeah.
impressionist.
So I do that in my stand-up act.
So did you start up to being a stand-up comedian and then get into that? Or were you
Always did both.
always did
I
both?
always did impressions as part of my act.
Did you do impressions in school?
Yep.
Like, did you get yourself into trouble?
Yep.
You know?
A lot of trouble
Yeah.
because I used to do my teachers, and back in the 80s, we had the intercom where you could communicate with the main office.
Yeah.
And I did the voices well enough that
So you had a lot of fun, man.
that I could communicate with the office, and they thought it was the teacher.
Right. So you could change your grades. You know,
I never
Hey.
changed a grade, but
That's
where
not
were
bad
you
idea.
when I needed you?
Yeah.
That would have been a good idea.
you call the office and say, I made a mistake. It's an A.
It's
Change
an
it."
A.
Right.
Santo, hey.
Yeah. That's very cool. So you did both. You started off doing both.
I always did both of my act. I always did impressions as part of my stand-up.
What would be your first like celebrity impression that you've ever done, like that you started with?
I started with Dangerfield,
Mhm.
and I used to be a DJ in 1989 at my college,
Okay.
SUNY Farmingdale.
Right.
I did Casey Kasem.
Did you really?
Yeah.
I love that.
And people thought
That it was really him.
that Casey Kasem was a guest DJ, and people were coming in to the
meet
radio
him.
station to meet him.
That's really cool.
That's the greatest compliment you could get.
That's it. Yeah.
Is when somebody thinks it's the real person.
Right. And what'd you say? He's busy right now?
No, they saw me because we had like a window,
They could see you in there.
and they could see me going, "Hello, I'm Casey Kasem. Back to the countdown."
Right.
And they're like, "Oh, what the hell? It's him."
Right. That's
You know,
funny.
So yeah,
So he used to tell those really long stories about love relationships from across the distance, right?
awesome.
Right?
His voice is so captivating.
Yeah. Can you do a little bit?
Hello, I'm Casey Kasem, and now it's time for this week's Long Island Long Distance Dedication. It goes out to somebody who listens to the show in Wanto, New York, and it's from a guy who listens to Seaford. So it's a not so long distance Long Island Long Distance dedication.
It's a town to town.
Town to town.
That was awesome. What do you think, Trevor? How cool is that? You got the thumbs up from Trevor.
His headset isn't working. That's why it's good.
It's good. I like it.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
You're good.
I have to tell you a true story with Casey Kasem. I go to see David Letterman, 1995,
Right.
with my wife, girlfriend at the time, and we're waiting in line. They pick the guy next to me to be on the show. I have no idea what it's about, right? So they do a segment where they take the guy's pants and they send them across America on the back of a tractor. So they give the guy new pants. So we knew the guests were Carol Burnett and we knew the guest David Copperfield.
Okay.
Right. So my wife goes, "What would you have done if they picked you?" They picked the guy right next to me.
Yeah.
Right. What would you have done if they picked you? I said, I would have told Dave I did impressions. I would have done Casey Kasem.
Right.
You know who the celebrity was who ran that segment?
Who?
Casey Kasem.
Wow. How weird is that?
How wild would that have been?
That would have been great.
So much.